So, you've got a brand new pool. That is fantastic news. It's going to be the heart of your home, and in this quick explainer, we're going to break down everything you need to know to keep that water sparkling and ready for fun, without any of the headaches. I promise it's way easier than you think. Okay, first things first. Before we get into anything else, there's a golden rule, and you have to commit this one to memory. Anytime you're about to touch a valve or a lever in your equipment shed, you must turn off the motor at the electrical panel. This is absolutely non-negotiable. It keeps you safe, and it protects your expensive equipment. So where does all the magic happen? In your pool's equipment area, or as we like to call it here, the sala de máquinas, the engine room. Now, it might look a little intimidating at first, but it's really just three main parts working together. Let's take a quick tour. First up, we've got the electrical panel. You can literally think of this as your pool's brain. It's the control center for the whole operation, telling your pump when to turn on and off. Now, it has a few settings, but honestly, there's one you're going to use 99% of the time. Here are the modes. Auto. That's your best friend, seriously. The set it and forget it mode. Especially here in sunny Alicante, you want to program it for a good 7 to 8 hours during the daytime in the summer. That's when the sun is working its hardest, so your filter needs to be too. Manual is for when you're actively doing things like vacuuming. And off, well, that's your safety switch for all maintenance. Remember that golden rule. All right, let's talk about what's inside your filter. This is super important. We don't use common pool sand, and here's why. The water in our region is packed with limescale or cal, and that stuff turns sand into a hard, useless rock pretty quickly. Instead, your filter is filled with a special anti-adherent glass. Limescale literally can't stick to it, which means you get way better filtration and crystal clear water for years to come. It's a real game changer. So, about every couple of weeks or so, you're going to need to clean that amazing glass filter. It sounds technical, but it's not, I promise. It's a simple process called a backwash. You just follow these steps. First, golden rule, motor off. Then, you set the big valve to lavado, which means wash. Turn the motor on for about 2 minutes. You'll see dirty water flowing out. Then, motor off again. Switch the valve to enjuague, or rinse, and turn the motor on for just 30 seconds. That's it. Your filter is now clean and happy. Okay, let's shift gears. We're about to talk about the single most important, and I mean most important, part of taking care of your pool here in Alicante and Murcia. It's not about how much chlorine you use. It's not even about algae. It's all about a simple measurement called pH. Let's dig into why this is everything. So you're probably thinking, okay, I've got chlorine, I've got a filter. Why are you making such a big deal about pH? It's a great question. With all the things you could be worrying about, why do we keep saying that pH is priority number one? What's the secret? Well, the secret is actually in the water that comes right out of your tap. The water here is what's called hard. That just means it has a really high mineral content. And because of those minerals, the pH of your pool water has a natural tendency to do one thing: rise. It goes up all by itself constantly. Because our water is always trying to push that pH up, you've got one magic number to watch: 7.6. Think of it like a speed limit for your pool. If your pH level starts creeping above 7.6, a whole chain reaction of bad stuff starts to happen, even if you can't see it right away. So what happens when that pH gets too high? Well, for starters, your disinfectant, whether it's chlorine or from your salt system, it just stops working. It's like it's been turned off. You could dump a whole bucket of chlorine in and it would do absolutely nothing. And when your disinfectant isn't working, that's when the algae moves in. The water turns green and your family starts complaining that their eyes are stinging. It all comes back to that one simple pH level. Okay, so that was the why. You get it now, right? You understand our biggest local challenge. So let's turn all that know-how into a super simple action plan. Seriously, this is a routine that's going to take you just a few minutes a week. And here it is. This is your cheat sheet for a perfect pool. Seriously, just stick to this. Once a week, you're going to check that pH and keep it between 7.2 and 7.6. While you're at it, empty the skimmer and pump baskets. Every other week, do that quick filter backwash we just learned. And once a month, just give the water line a quick wipe down. That's it. This simple schedule guarantees your family is comfortable and your equipment is protected. All right, now let's tackle a couple of the most common questions we get from new pool owners. And then we'll look at some really cool ways you can upgrade your whole pool experience and make it even more enjoyable. So your pool has one of two systems. You've either got traditional chlorine, where you add tablets, or you have a salt chlorinator system, which is like a little mini factory making its own pure chlorine.
The real difference isn't just how they work, it's how they feel. Salt water is silky soft on your skin. There's no chemical smell, no stinging eyes. It's a totally different swimming experience. And the best part? If you have a chlorine system now, you can upgrade to salt anytime you want.
Okay, the big one. The question everyone dreads. Help! I woke up and my water is green! This is the #1 fear for every new pool owner, but listen, don't panic. The fix is almost always incredibly simple.
Before you run out and buy a bunch of chemicals, before you do anything else, what's the one thing you're going to check? That's right, your pH. I'm telling you, 99% of the time, green water is just a symptom of a high pH that turned off your disinfectant. So the solution is simple. Get your pH back down into that 7.2 to 7.6 range first, and then you can do a shock treatment. It'll clear right up. And hey, if you find yourself wanting to spend less time working on the pool and more time actually in the pool, these upgrades are amazing. A robotic cleaner is like a Roomba for your pool. It vacuums all by itself. A heat pump lets you extend your swim season, so you can be enjoying the water in April or October. And modern LED lights are so cool. You can change the color and mood of your entire backyard right from an app on your phone. And look, please remember, you are never on your own with any of this. If you're ever scratching your head or something just doesn't look right, just scoop up a little bit of your pool water in a clean bottle and bring it to our store in Los Montesinos. We'll pop it in our professional machine, give you a precise analysis for free, and tell you exactly what you need to do. No guesswork. So when you boil it all down, keeping your pool looking incredible isn't about being a chemist. It's just about having a simple, consistent routine. And it all starts with mastering that one key measurement. So with all that in mind, my final question for you is, what is the one simple check you can do this week to guarantee a perfect swim for your family?